Federated Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Nafcoc in the North West, says the Central Supplier Database, CSD, must be repurposed. It says the database is anti-small business. The chamber states the CSD in its current form is costly for small businesses and doesn't promote a fair and equitable access to government procurement opportunities. Nafcoc is proposing that all bids under 500,000 rand must be submitted online. For more on this, we're joined by Tshepang Ramosepele, who's from Nafcoc in the North West. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you, Colin.
All right, paint for us the state of entrepreneurship in the Northwest Province. Ever since this whole month, we've been looking at various industries, but from where you come, how are things?
Yeah, look, Northwest is dominated by the mining and agricultural sector. But the problem is that black business or entrepreneurs, they don't own any of those industries. And that's a big problem for us. You look at the mining industry, for example. A lot of guys who claim to be in mining, they're actually suppliers, they are middlemen. Because mining is all about engineering. And our approach now is to gradually move them from becoming suppliers to become manufacturers. Because if you've been supplying a mine with pipes and what have you, at some point you have to be able to say, why can't I be the manufacturer of these pipes? You know, so that's the direction that we're moving in, because we're looking at a situation where people become part of the value chain. Right now, the culture of becoming suppliers and middlemen and women, it doesn't work. In agriculture, we are just consumers. It's very few black-owned companies that are actually producing. But we want to increase that because agriculture is very critical and it has a potential to create more jobs.
Something that comes to mind when you talk about people being involved in manufacturing is that how can the people in the Northwest produce when all the industries that they know of concerning the NWCDC, they've been run down. Yeah. And there have been documentaries and stories told by the SABC where all those buildings are dilapidated. How serious is the Northwest and how committed are you to industrialization when your industries have collapsed?
Yeah. One, we are putting a proposal together to say the NWDC must be re-engineered, because as it is now, it's not working for us small businesses. We're saying it must become a super enterprise development agency, so that when you need anything that's related to enterprise development, you go to the NWDC. We have a problem where departments are running their own enterprise development, and it's a problem. I mean, a couple of weeks back, there was a few youth people in Kayakulu who have been paraded as having trained in tourism as tour guides. I mean, Kayakulu, it's right in the middle of nowhere. And that's because there is no plan. And that's why we want NWDC to say, all the budgets from departments must come to this super agency and they must be responsible for enterprise development.
Let's talk about the problem that you are raising concerning the central database. Yeah. What's wrong with it in its current form?
We're saying that the CSD must be upgraded so that a person sitting in Matatiela, a young person in Tsitsikamma, in Tsantsabela, in Troska, when they want to bid, they don't have to, because look, at times you have to, they send you RFQs. You must go and print them, complete them, scan, and send them. It's costly for us as small business. So we're suggesting that for a startup, let's have all the bids that are under 500,000 be submitted online to promote fairness and equitable access to government procurement.
So now, why at 500,000 rand in its current form? Where were the loopholes?
No, we're saying let's start with 500,000, but we can increase it because we'll pilot it starting with 500,000, and as time goes on, increase it. Because look, there's absolutely no reason why should this day a person must travel 200 kilometers to buy a document for 500 rand, and they spend 1,000 rand just for traveling. Absolute. I mean, we're living in a digital world. Tender document must be accessible online. You must choose, okay, I'll spend 500 rand to print.
Now, your province is notorious of some municipalities which are corrupt to the core. Yeah. And you were discussing this in the conference, that you need to deal with corruption at municipalities because they are impeding on productivity and manufacturing opportunities in as far as the local economic development is concerned.
Yeah. It's corruption, it's a sore pain for us and for all of us, in fact, as South African. And what we putting on the table is that to deal decisively with corruption, one, the environment where people work must be conducive enough that I should feel free to blow a whistle when I see that something is wrong. Because this corruption happens in offices where people work. But people are so afraid. There's this fear that has gripped people that they can't talk about, you know what, I know this is what happened or this is what's happening. That's the first thing that we need to deal with. Create an environment where whistleblowers will feel free to blow the whistle. Secondly, where there's allegation of malfeasance, the person who's been accused, when they are put on suspension, they must go on suspension without pay until the investigations have been completed. If you are found guilty, you don't get the money, we must come after you to get what you've stolen.
So now, are you not anticipating problems when Nafcoc is rearing its head now? When people have been asking, where has been Nafcoc been in the past 9 years? You are very active in the past, especially when Patrice Motsepe was your president. Then after that, there was just infighting within your organization and you were quiet for more than 10 years. Today, how dare you come and try to play holy with us?
Yeah. Well, I'm speaking for Nafcoc North West. There's a project to unite Nafcoc at the national level and to reignite it. So I can't really speak about what is happening at the national level.
All right. Thank you very much for making time to speak to us.
Yeah.
All right. Tshepang Ramosepele is from Nafcoc in the Northwest Province. And Peter.